Greg, let's jump to a listener question very quickly. Danielle from South Carolina says, quote, my husband and I are ready to start investing. We have enough capital and are actively searching for deals and running the numbers. It's really exciting. Our goal is to live off of our real estate investments for retirement, but we're already in our 40s. Is it too late for that?
Oh, absolutely not. 40s, I mean, listen, when do you want to retire? 65? You've got 25 years. That is plenty of time to build your own personal real estate empire. So I love this question. It actually dovetails great. We were going to get to later on in the segment the fifth habit of real estate investing, which is compartmentalizing, or the fifth habit of highly effective real estate investors, whatever. I forget
Hey, there you go.
I think we pillaged Stephen Covey's name this. We're going to get letters in the mail, but the idea, he said he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Compartmentalizing is about setting specific purposes for each real estate investment. So when I meet somebody who's in their 40s and they want to retire on the investments, they easily have 20 years. I mean, not that many folks intend to retire before they're 60. So 60 is a pretty good age. 60 is the new 45. And they have all the time in the world. And so her question was, she said they have enough capital and they're actively searching for the deals. I wish that she was a live caller because I'm dying to know where in South Carolina we're talking about. Because South Carolina, obviously being in the Southeast U.S., so many markets in the Southeast U.S. are benefiting from this mass gradual glacial migration from the population centers, the high tax areas, the cold areas in the Northeast and Upper Midwest, and they're making their way to the Carolinas. And so places like Charleston, which is, I think, the best real estate market in America. There are other markets around Charleston. There are other parts of South Carolina that share some of the same fundamentals. I think Columbia, South Carolina has got phenomenal upside as a second-tier southern city who's getting liftoff right now because the population is looking for new places to go as some of the other cities like Charlotte and Atlanta have gotten populated out. And so my first point was they're actively searching for deals and running numbers. And I might suggest to you that you don't need to find a deal if you're finding a good house in the right place. Don't prioritize the deal as high as the where. Don't prioritize the what as high as you prioritize the where. Very important, because I've seen people scouring for a deal, meaning finding a house that they can buy for substantially less than it's actually worth, and then buying something in the wrong place as a result. So just know that if you're in South Carolina, you're ahead of the game. You could buy almost anything in Charleston and you're going to win. Okay? And then go back to that compartmentalizing is like this. You're 40 years old, you want to retire in 25 years. First and foremost, you want to live off of the income. So how many properties do you have to own? Figuring you're going to get a 6 or a 7% yield. So how many hundreds of thousands of dollars do you have to put to work to get the kind of income you're going to want in 20 years? Figure out how much income that is. Figure out how many properties that means you have to own free and clear to generate that income. And then count up how many properties and buy the first one. And then buy the second one. And scrimp and save and work hard and keep accumulating properties. Put mortgages on them, but not crazy mortgages. Put down 30, 40% on your mortgages. There are folks that would say that's too much. Not when your goal is 25 years to retirement. That's the right amount, right? Accumulate and build the yield, but actually identify the properties for what they're going to mean to you. Like, these 5 are for income. This one is for my boat, right? I'm buying a property for a boat.
That's really smart. Yep.
We have 2 kids under the age of 6, and I want each of them to have a college fund. So this is Sally's college fund. This is Bobby's college fund. These 5 are going to be for income. Actually map out the number of properties you want. Assign a purpose to every single one of them. Compartmentalize, and then start building the future. And again, include all the responsible things like income and financial independence, college funds for the kids, wedding gifts for the kids, birth of a new grandchild gifts for the kids, right? But then don't forget to include the Corvette or the boat because, you got to live in your retirement and have some fun.
That's right. So that means I need to buy you a Corvette. Is that what I'm hearing?
No. But if you want to, I wasn't going to ask for a Corvette, but if that's where you want to go,
I
You
mean,
know, that's what good radio hosts do for their favorite guests. So
that's right.
you're gonna be Oprah. You're gonna be like, we got Corvettes.
You know what? Yes, it's one of my
Everybody
favorite
gets
things.
a Corvette today.
Everyone gets a Corvette. It's one of my favorite things. All right, so let's. So we've got through set aside 10%. The 5 habits of highly successful investors. Number 1, set aside 10% for repairs and maintenance. Number 2, think of your tenants as customers. Number 3, pay attention to the markets like that you're investing in. Number 4, treat the property like a small business. Number 5, think of tenants as customers. You know what, Greg? You and I should put out an ebook about this, outlining some of these things. So maybe we'll launch that here in the next couple of weeks once we make that happen. Here's another question for you. Unless you have more than 5 habits.
No, keep going. Yeah, listener questions are the best. Go.
All right, listener questions. Sarah in Missouri, when is it time to cash out of a rental and capture the equity for another purchase? My husband and I bought a property from a family member a year ago, and they gave us a great deal. The property is currently a rental, making double the mortgage, which is awesome. But if we sold it, we could make an easy $25,000 because of how good a deal they gave us. What should we do?
Well, it depends on what you want to do next. I mean, so in that situation, replicating that outcome is tricky. Okay, you've got I think you said family member that sold you the property and you made a great deal. So if you liquidate the property, you're going to have assets you have to replace or place again into another property. And you either could try to find another situation where you're going to get it for a really great price, which is a lot harder than people think. All right, this is a very transparent time in real estate, in the world in general, right? Getting a great deal in a hot real estate market when everybody has access to Zillow isn't so easy. And so you do wind up trying to find people that are in trouble. And for a lot of folks, and I'm one of them, it just wears at my soul. I never liked the idea of building a business or an investment strategy around the idea of finding people in pain and then capitalizing on their pain. So unless you have a really reliable way of replicating that under market opportunity, what I'd say is hold it, like never sell it. Find a way to scrape together more and then buy another one, right? You've got a boost here on your investment portfolio because you got a head start with some equity in the first property. My recommendation is to, work hard, be frugal, stick money in the savings account, build up the next down payment, buy the next property, and have this really long-term view that says, I don't know how old you are, but your goal can be, I want to see 25 years from now, how many properties do I want to have paid all the way down or paid off? Is it 10? Okay, you've got one, go buy the second one, work towards buying the second one.
I think that's really, really smart, really sound advice. We will finish up that question and those responses when we come back. So we got to go to break.